I would agree. I think you are completely right. He has a very solid KDA average in general as a support. He is in 90% of his team's kills across his career.
That's just insane.
He knows what he's doing. And now, speaking of insanity, RPG, they've decided that it's time to take us to Brexit. God damn it. To Braxis holdout. I made the.
We're not there yet, Tetcher.
The freaking self-burn. Self-own. That's what the kids are calling it these days.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's about to get funky. We're going to Braxis Holdout and the quote-unquote underdog in this series. They chose that battleground willingly, trying to maybe surprise not only you and us, but also their opponents here. Let's see how they're going to play this. We have seen people fail in the past picking this battleground, trying to win on it. We remember BTG last week. They showed us that they were not prepared enough to actually execute it, and I think they lost to CE on this battleground.
I believe you are correct, but let's see what we do have. With Thrall, Genji, Maiev, similar stuff, and Malthael. I like this RPG, a little bit of research. Hugo loves to play this hero on this map, so I like that as a cheeky little ban out.
Yeah, Hugo is still learning, you know, he's still in the learning process of, you know, adjusting to all those more defensive solo laners like a Blaze, like an Urel, for example, but he's getting there. He's certainly stepped up his own game, but he still prefers, like in a perfect world, I'm pretty sure Hugo would still go for Illidan first, because I'm pretty sure he dreams about him all the time, and then he would certainly go for Malthael or Thrall. Like, those are his baby boys right now.
There is a Phoenix and a Diablo coming in here. Nice opening already for RPG, the classic combo. And Phoenix is brilliant on this map just due to the amount of AoE he has, even if he's on a defensive stage. The AoE phase bomb gives him a fantastic set of Zerg clearing tools, and we can't not mention the potential Planet Cracker Zerg clear.
Oh yes, that is certainly going to be an ability to be on the lookout for. Not only does it have great teamfight value if landed correctly, but as you said, more importantly, even in my opinion, the amount of Zerg shredding it can do single-handedly is just super nuts crazy.
Now then, with Hammer on the board, with, again, for the one, Hammer has played a big part in today's games. I'm pretty sure she's like out of the 6 games we've had today, I think she's been in 5. I will double check.
Yeah, and most of the time winning. So especially SPT in those previous games, they have shown us what they could do.
Series, so that means she has been played 4 out of 6 games today.
So there's 2 ways to play against Sergeant Hammer, as we said. One of them is long distance poke, like Nazebo Spiders, for example, like the Li Ning combo, and the other one is hard engage. Both strategies haven't really been successful today, and they banned the Cho'Gall. They seem to have some inside knowledge during scrims, during practice games that we lack.
It's a little bit of a smile and a giggle from RPG. I don't know if that means that that's a one of, oh man, they rumbled us, or a let's just, why did they ban this? I mean, this could be insider knowledge, this could be reactionary play, but what they have done is they've let RPG bring out the Cassia, and here comes the White Mane as well.
Oh man, White Mane and Cassia, that is a very scary looking combo. Cassia is already more resilient than other ranged assassins, and put on top of that, the sustained heal, the strong sustained heal from White Mane during a team fight, and she is going to be that thorn in your sides, especially when a mastermind like DSL is on that mouse and keyboard.
It's not poke, though. It's not a way to deal with the Sergeant Hammer, and that Sergeant Hammer is now even more resilient with a Zarya that comes out for the one. Pulling a BTG here, bringing out that strongest woman in the world to try and just keep that hammer sustained, protect against any bursts that RPG might offer, which they will have a lot of. So RPG, they need a disruptive support, and that is pretty disruptive. I was going to say Artanis, or I was actually going to potentially please Kendrick by saying the potential for a Varian to just blow up those shields. I think I prefer the Artanis because it's more sustainable and is going to have an easier top play.
Honestly, Varian is always a little bit of a crazy, I shouldn't say crazy, but inconsistent call. But in a solo lane, he is actually not that bad as many people think he is, especially after, you know, obtaining his level 4 quote-unquote heroic ability. So especially against a Leoric, I think Varian would have had all the means to actually hold his own in the lane for the most part. Leoric attacks very slowly, which means that Varian can time his parry very, very well to diminish a little bit of extra damage. But of course, the choice they made is pretty solid as well. Artanis should have no struggle whatsoever in the solo lane. There's actually a cute little trick you can do when you play Artanis. You can use your Blade Dash when you're actually drained hope by Leoric, and you can escape the range with it. So Leoric will no longer get the extra healing value. But yeah, it's going to be a heated up game, guys. We see comfort picks all across the board for RPG with that white main Cassia combo. But TheOne, they have some crazy siege potential.
So here is the important thing here for RPG, and the main reason we are seeing Artanis in this game. The Purifier Beam. It's all about that very slow, immobile hammer. Yeah, she's got all this burst protection. Yeah, she's got all this. But that's still gonna... The whole point of that is to make her unsiege less. So if you land that Purifier Beam, yeah, it'll be blocked a bit by armor. Yeah, it could be blocked a bit by the shields, which could work against them. But it could also be absolutely monstrous. As we move into the game, and on the left it is TheOne. Hugo, Keshi, Meng, ZJZ, and Hehe.
Facing them is RPG, Free Show, MJ, Pa, C, and DSL. And to expand a little bit on that point you just raised, Tetra, which I really like, oftentimes people say, you know, blinds are really good counters against Sergeant Hammer, right? And while that is certainly not wrong per se, I think you may be onto something here. I really think the Purifying Beam is so strong against Sergeant Hammer. And also, most importantly, it is going to most certainly outlast the bonus armor. Hold that thought, though. Free Show with a funky swap gets slowed, though. Is he going to get to safety here? The route might be good.
So it's a trade-off of, do you want the pressure as Free Show does escape? Do you want the pressure of that extra damage from the Purify Beam to try and force Hammer to unsiege? Or do you want the blind to synergize with Cassia? Both could work. Flip is good. No siege tactics yet. Armor is applied. Diablo with the wall charge. And that is an easy first blood for the RPG.
RPG gets schooled here by TheOne gets schooled by RPG with a flawless combo, a perfect swap into Shadow Charge execution, and that is going to be the question, Tetra, here. How much damage, how much bonus damage will Cassia be able to get from that suppression called Blind Enable? I'm not sure if I would like to bank all my hopes on that. I would actually go for the Purifying Beam myself.
Well, we will find out as we look at some other interesting talents. Garrosh, unrivaled strength coming in at level 1. No Warbreaker for that Groundbreaker level 1 talent. Very interesting here. We're also going to be seeing Reactive Parry. This could be... Oh, Diablo. Nice escape. Should be fine. Okay, so Reactive Parry basically gives you 2 block charges every time you use the swipe. That's going to be a dead Cassia. Yeah. Now, that's an interesting trade-off, because the Reactive Parry, it's going to be great against Hammer, terrible against Zarya. If Zarya ever at any point is in melee range, C might actually die as well here. Wow, that is over-aggression by RPG being punished. But if Zarya is ever in melee range, then Reactive Parry is useless.
Absolutely, because that quick attack animation, you know, the quick ticking damage from all those laser beam attacks, as I want to call it, or the minigun from Tychus, for example, like all these super fast attacks will just melt those charges, as you said, and alluded towards. But yeah, I think Zarya already showing people why she is indeed the strongest woman in the world, and you just can't die like that on Artanis. Once you're caught, you should know better than to extend the fight. You should be on your ways already. But that's oftentimes easier said than done, because Artanis doesn't have those escape mechanisms.
Easy throw by Garrosh, but MJ this time will survive because it looks to turn it round. There's a good scroll by Deckard, but they are tanking, at least for the moment. You're seeing that healing. Artanis needs to re-rotate down to bot lane. He was dropped very low in that. He was killed off in that fight, but he did drop Leoric very low. This is pre-level 4, so no shield surge or shield battery. Almost certainly going to be shield surge. And there it is.
Speaking of shields, here we see the speed barrier at level 4 for Zarya, which is an amazing talent to use with Sergeant Hammer. You can really help her escape. You can help her catch up as well, or with just fast rotations if the situation requires it. So lots of protection, lots of enabling, and I just have to emphasize how strong that Zarya already has been. Keshi, not only with auto attacks, but also with those shields, has bought so much room and so much damage for his team.
They put the pressure on. Good slows coming in from Whitemane, but DSL getting thrown in, drops himself, gets dropped very low himself. Yeah. But he will be able to back up, but that's so much damage being dealt. Phoenix, by the way, with inhibiting energy coming in at level 4. So his basic attacks against heroes slowed by Plasma Cut to slow all enemies in an area. That could be amazing. This is Deja Vu. Free Show backs up, and this time we'll just let them take the point instead of having to fight Hugo as well.
But you saw exactly what we talked about earlier, right? As soon as the Drain Hope landed onto Artanis, he used his Blade Dash to basically deny Hugo all the self-sustain on Leoric. So that's a smart move. But by the same token, you also have to be careful sometimes, because if you use your Blade Dash too early, then that thought Hugo now in trouble. DSL frontlining on the Cassia.
He's surviving, though. I would like to point out, even though it didn't work, C just did something beautiful. He's done another thing beautiful there with a good wall tackle. They move on to ZJZ, but they can't finish the job. DSL gets thrown back, and he is taken out. And even though it didn't work, so many members were dropped low, but the idea, C, he tackled Hulho, flipped him, and put him in a rough position, so DSL was suddenly in trouble. So instead of just leaving it and letting DSL try to run away, he just charged straight. Look at this, C, once again, just standing as close to Hulho as possible. So if anyone gets flipped, it's Diablo, but it's not working. Hulho's positioning is too good.
Are you kidding me? Hulho and the shield baits are crazy. Not even CJ said they're going to get that tower shot. Was not enough damage, and Zarya with a strong triple kill here for Mother Russia. It's just awesome to see the coordination and the timing on those shields as well for the one, and Free Show is going to give him a free kill.
Another kill goes over to the one RPG. Oh, they're just feeding at this point. It's 8-1. It's 2-level lead at this stage, and we are going to see the first Zerg wave almost certainly going over to the one. As RPG are desperately trying to soak to level 7, even up the XP count, the talent count at least.
Yeah. And the real problem here, of course, is as well for RPG that with that Phoenix, they don't even have the Planet Cracker yet. They don't even have those strong tools to, melt the enemy's Zerg wave. That first Zerg wave, if it actually gets unlocked by the one anytime soon, is going to hit home really hard. But instead of, applying pressure onto that top beacon, they went for the Mercenary Camp, taking a little bit of time away, and RPG could now try to stabilize with that level 7 talent. See from the back.
Diablo coming in from behind, like you say, looks for the target. Does not try to knock him. They've managed to neutralize the point. Artanis actually grabbed bot lane, in fact. So they need to try and make a play. Meng's actually dropped a little bit low from some poke.
Yeah, there's a big minion wave, though, and the Mercenaries as well. That drives RPG back. See, nice escape to a minion. Oh, doesn't matter.
And the heal Emerald dropped, even took the Hunter Killer missile from the Raven, so died anyway. DSL's trying to do some damage, trying to force them back, and the fort will survive, but with Hulho rotating in from the side, another... Ooh, no easy kill this time, actually able to back up. And those minions started to run low. Look at DSL, runs to the minion wave, tries to clear it out, but another one arrives just a bit in time.
Also, look at Keshi's damage by now. With that grenade build, the pinpoint accuracy doing so much work now. Those grenades are hitting hard, especially onto Acacia. They do count as ability damage. So Zarya, especially when she's fully charged up on energy, she becomes that super strong auto attacker with some mage components to it as well, because those grenades are basically like mini frostbolts here coming in from a Jaina at that point. Hugo hasn't decided yet which heroic ability he wanted to take. Good swap, good timing. Hugo's running out of escape mechanisms.
Quick pick March. He quick picks March and then goes the wrong way. He is going to die here, but he bought some time.
Yeah, that, I mean, trading
just
one...
his base.
Yeah.
He would have got out. I don't understand that one at all. We're going to see Huho taking out DSL with the help of everyone.
So trading a Leoric for a fort is always a good trade that the Leoric is definitely going to be having a giggle about.
Hugo's already back, doesn't actually miss that much XP. Towers didn't kill it off very quickly, so he's able to soak most of that. Huho will see this camp being taken. Is his team going to potentially try to raid it? Looks like not. They're just going to be happy to pick up the Zerg. Well, they have level 10.
Yeah, level 10 is here, or has been here for a while now for the one. Lorenado is here. All the heroic abilities are going to be back off cooldown. 50% wave still coming in for RPG. So with the way Braxis works right now, Still, you sometimes may have to send someone to defend against that 50% wave, but not when you're in such a commanding lead without the enemy team having any heroic abilities to fight back. Hugo coming in from the side as well, made up his mind, said, you know what? I'm just going to let our own 4 take care of that Zerg wave. It's already taking some heavy damage, and we're gearing up Tetcher for that key play.
Yes, they are. They move forward. Ready to try and flip anyone who overextends, but this is looking so rough for RPG. Tornado and Expulsion Zone. Planet Cracker used on the Zerg wave to try and force it back, but everyone else is dying. So Whitemaid's already dead, so that's the healing removed. Diablo is dying, but will actually escape here. Good damage. They blow up Hugo. Oh my god, they are going for this. They're moving in for here, trying to take him down. DSL being dropped low, but is able to escape. It's tossed in and will go down. But dropping so low, that Purifier Beam getting some crazy value, but it's just not enough. C, once again, though, able to retreat. Free Show with the flip, trying to keep himself out of danger. Good teleport by Par. MJ is back, but Artanis is gone.
Yeah, and Zarya was able to tank all through this with level 13. Pain is temporary. That bonus shield was so massive. It was even bigger than her own biceps. And she was able to survive through that. They're cleaning house now, TheOne. Look at all those shields. Look at the grenades raining down and bringing the pain. This is an easy keep for TheOne. And although RPG looked like they were about to defend just a random expulsion zone here, I guess, couldn't hurt nobody. But yeah, TheOne in full control. Meng, though...
Hey, you guys ever seen a Sergeant Hammer next to the opponent's core while all the keeps are still up and not dying? Because that's what just happened as we see the keep finally taken out. And TheOne, they pull back. They have everything they need. Hugo had already rotated up here for the XP. It's a 3-level lead for TheOne, a keep lead. They haven't lost a single fort. This is domination.
Absolutely. And we see an almost deja vu moment here from last week in which BTG thought they could get away, picking Braxis themselves and getting demolished. It looks like RPG is going to suffer from a very similar fate up to this. Now, mind you though, they do have a couple of tools available right off the get-go for that next team fight that they weren't having the last time they fought. Like that Purify Beam, like that... like the Laser Beam coming in from Phoenix as well. They do have a lot of Protoss power. The question is, can they put it to good use?
Move forward, on the point. This might be the last team fight of the game. Planet Cracker's pretty okay. Another Purifier Beam onto who is actually dropping pretty low. DSL with the kiting. Good flipping. And they get full retreat. Everyone out of here. Comeback XP is acquired. Let's move. And RPG move back into their defensive positions.
All right, RPG blowing all their powder in this team fight, trying to kill the main tank. And for the first time in this game, they successfully did, while also keeping everybody alive. So this time, what went better? Well, first and foremost, they had nobody getting caught out of position in the first place. And also, I think they waited very patiently until Huhu was isolated a little bit away from the rest of his team, and until the Zarya shields were basically running out and expiring. Now, that kill was all nice, but could they capitalize from this victory? No, they couldn't. They have to surrender even more mercenary camps now. They're going to be occupied so much before that beacon starts coming into place. Zarya now finds herself surrounded, though. Stays alive.
15-4 in terms of kills. 15-12, soon to be 13 in terms of levels. Assuming they're able to all back up and get this, they should be able to get 13. And once again, RPG. They're not out of it yet. Their backs are up against the wall.
Yep.
And, well, their chances sit somewhere in the, like, let's put it this way, no one would bet on it kind of thing, but they are still have a chance. They have Artanis currently, once again, dueling the Yorick up in top lane as Diablo looks for this opportunity to move in. They're on even talents. It's probably the last chance. They go on a hammer before the siege tactic is active. Here comes the ball lightning to try and push through. The Tornado is a little bit of disruption as they chase through, trying to get onto them. As looks for the flip and gets it onto DSL, but he's able to sustain himself through. But the Emerald prevents the healing. Planet Cracker will not be enough to execute a kill. C is on his own, gets a one fire stop, trying to stay alive and will sustain through for the moment. Here comes the Purifier Beam from above as Artanis is actually rotating in, but with MJ already dead, the numbers advantage is gone again. And well, Free Show was not able to get anything done with that swap.
Yeah, that was almost true Leroy Jenkins fashion there. I'm not sure what he was thinking about, you know, flanking there when his entire team already got demolished and was on the back foot, was on the retreat already. He just flipped himself into his own doom. Yeah, a little bit of a judgment there, I think. Also, that Purifying Beam, in my opinion, was super late. Could have maybe helped, you know, take down someone earlier, but he was probably busy keeping himself alive against Leoric. I was watching, actually, Artanis' and Leoric's health bars, because we didn't see what was happening in that soul lane, and Hugo was pummeling Artanis, which is very unusual. I think Artanis, in most cases, should have the upper hand in a straight-up 1 versus 1.
The extra healing on level 7, the Ossian Renewal, Leoric, of course, with a 3-level lead as well. They might actually be able to kill Leoric. In fact, they almost certainly will. No, shield for... Oh, there we go. That should be able to kill Hugo.
Yep.
A little bit more comeback XP acquired, but there's going to be a Zerg wave, there's going to be a boss, both in the same lane. It's the only remaining Keyblade. They're actually going to try and to prevent this. Boss is pushing on its own, but the bosses on this map are not very strong. DSL.
Good lockdown on Zarya.
It gets flipped in, but in the meantime, Keshi is once again getting focused down. Lord Ada for the disruption as they've already killed off Leoric once again. Artanis will drop 2, but he drops the Pure from him onto Zarya. Interesting target, who now has a lot of energy. Moving forward, just wrecking the front line with 2 members down on the side of RPG. Boom. It's probably going to be a full team wipe.
And sometimes, Thatcher, I know DSL is a Cassia god. I know it's by far his strongest pick, and we've seen him succeed on that hero. Uh-oh. One more grenade. Keshi drops it in the epicenter of it. And thanks to his level 7 talent, he gets that bonus damage on a squishy Phoenix. And that should be the nail in the coffin. The Zerg waves are coming, and the boss is melting down the last bastion of defense here in the top lane.
And that's nicely done. We see the one moving on for the core. The spawn timers are still pretty low, but with that taunt, DSL might fall super early. Free Show is trying to disrupt. DSL getting sniped by Zarya with the greatest of ease. And with that, it's a 3 versus 5 defense. Boss and Zerg all on the core, and that is going to be game.
That is going to be game indeed. Not even the Plasma Cutter can help out here. That is going to be it. Phoenix just has to watch his core die. And the one, proving to be just 1, maybe 2 or 3 steps ahead of their opponents at all times here. Beautiful finish and execution from start till the end. And back to the point I was trying to make during the game. It's good to be an aggressive Cassia. It's good to bait plays onto you, but sometimes you want to be in range of Whitemane and get that sweet, sweet Scarlet Aegis.
Yeah, I mean, that was savage. That was absolute savagery from start to finish. RPG, like, they only killed Leoric pretty much that entire game.
Yeah.
And that's not the person. Like, yeah, you can kill him, but you gotta do something with it.
Exactly.
The fact that one rotated down to Artanis 3 times in the time it took RPG to rotate once, and they didn't get the kill. That is a 2-0 for the one. They have now a solid 19 points, tied with SPT in first place.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly did have their battle plan, you know, on Braxis there with that Phoenix, with the Cassia plays as well, and a really interesting Artanis pick, which actually looked okay for the most part, but against that Onslaught, that Sergeant Hammer protection squad that the one deployed here was just not enough. And especially Keshi, in my opinion, on that Zarya has shown us how strong in certain special situations that hero can still be. My MVP for sure. The shields were golden, his damage was insane, and his talent build just matched the situation so hard. That level 13, for example, pain is temporary. The amount of baits and, you know, attention that he could draw onto himself without dying because of that extra bonus shield was just nuts.
Yeah, and as such, that was a solid victory coming in there. Nice to see the one also adjusting some of their drafts in here, adopting, like we already said, a little bit of the BTG style with that Zarya. It seems to be the sort of secret weapon that China's willing to bring out here. So I am enjoying witnessing that now getting even more usage.
And I mean, it's safe to say that Braxis is one of the strongest, if not the strongest map for that Zarya. So really cool to see how much value the shields could get, you know, charging people up near the structure so you can push even more. And Zarya is then going to be able to unleash even more damage. Super nice to see. RPG did have their moments here and there, but in the end, it was just too greedy, too hectic and chaotic, I think it was. Also, you know, DSL being all over the place, completely separated from his team. Then Artanis arriving either too late or going way too crazy. Free Show not having the best of days. So yeah, I think it's... I don't know, RPG, what they're doing to us. Can't they just be consistent and make it easier for us to hype them?
I would love to, but I will say I would argue that this is more motivation to tune into HGC China, because you never know what's gonna happen. Every single episode, doesn't matter how boring or how one-sided the game day looks, it's never as boring as it looks. There's always excitement and there's always unexpected.
True. Absolutely true. Couldn't agree more. I mean, nobody here in their right mind would claim that this is the most high-profile, most competitive league ever in terms of immaculate plays. No, this is China, in which we see upsets every now and then, but most importantly, we have crazy entertaining games. 26 kills to 5. I mean, where else do you get that? So much action from start to finish. One-sided action, mind you, but still action nonetheless.